could bring that up. So we usually look at obviously cost and sales, return on ad spend, and then I look at cost per detail page view before I look at things like CPM.
Okay, so explain to us the difference between viewability. So how can something be displayed without being viewable?
Yeah, so think about it this way. You load a product detail page on Amazon, right? The whole thing loads, but you're only ultimately having access to a portion of it on your screen. So if it loads, I go to the top, I look at some bullet points, I decide if I want to buy or not, and then I click off of it. That ad loads, and that ad loading considers it an impression. If it's, I think it's 70% of it or something like that is on somebody's screen at any given time, that's what's considered viewable. So I've seen instances where brands have been running DSP and they think the results are great, but then I look at their viewability and it's like 10%. And then what that tells me is that people aren't actually seeing their ads, and the sales that are seeing are just misplacing attribution from organic, because the DSP will operate on a view through window. So it's likely an ad was served, somebody didn't see it, they were going to go back and buy that product anyways. So even if the results might look good in an instance like that, we can say with some relative certainty that it wasn't the ad that was influencing the sale.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because I see it all the time. I click on the search results, go to the page, and the page comes up pretty quickly, but certain parts of it, they don't load up for a while. So what you are saying is SP will charge whatever is on that page, but it may not actually show up.
That's how pretty much all display advertising works. So that's why bidding higher and making sure that you're selecting the right ad types that will be more prominent on a page help influence. You want to also set viewability minimums, and that's how the DSP knows to bid for certain placements, and it'll hold the overall campaign to a certain viewability threshold to mitigate the risk of serving what's considered invisible ads.
But there is nothing that the advertiser can do to influence the viewability percentage, right? That's just a matter of infrastructure, internet speed, you name it, right?
You can influence the viewability of your ads based on things like bids and viewability minimums that influence the placement of those ads. So if you're bidding really low, you're ultimately bidding for less competitive real estate, which isn't front and center, and your ultimate viewability is going to be lower as a result. So dropping bids in order to improve efficiency isn't always the right move, especially in this situation.